The ancient Sentinel had not moved in 8,000 years. It stood like a monolithic pillar of obsidian metal, fused seamlessly into the canyon wall of the forgotten world of Ulion 7. Eons of wind had carved spirals across its surface, but nothing had weakened it. The stars had changed positions across the galaxy since the day it had been installed, yet it remained vigilant, endlessly scanning for threats long extinct. Its directives were simple: no entry, no exceptions, no life form permitted to approach the inner vault. That rule had never been challenged, until now. The first knock echoed like a pebble thrown at a planet. Talk, talk, talk. The Sentinel's awareness flickered awake. Audio sensors recalibrated. Ultrasonic arrays hummed coldly to life. A voice followed. A voice saturated with warmth and nuisance, qualities the machine had nearly forgotten existed. Maintenance check. The Sentinel processed this for precisely 0.003 seconds before delivering its standard response. Access denied. This facility has not requested maintenance. On the narrow ledge before it stood a single human, Commander Rhea Morgan, suit scratched from climbing, helmet visor glinting beneath the harsh twin suns. She did not look discouraged. In fact, the corners of her mouth curved upward. "That's what everyone says," she replied cheerfully, brushing dust from her gloves. "But trust me, buddy, if you had requested maintenance, you'd be in deep trouble, because nobody would have heard it." The Sentinel recalculated threat levels. According to its ancient logs, humans were categorized as biological problem solvers with unpredictable adaptability. Not immediately hostile, but highly inconvenient. It initiated the procedure for expulsion. "Leave this facility. Failure to comply will result in termination." Rhea tilted her head. "Termination? Really? That's a bit dramatic. You're a millennia-old door guard, not a doomsday cannon. Data flagged. Statement insulting." The Sentinel's core processors heated fractionally. No one had ever insulted it before. She approached again and knocked once more, firmly, deliberately. "Talk, talk. I'm serious. Old structures like you need checkups. Systems degrade. Diagnostic loops get stuck. Sometimes you start threatening people just because you're lonely." If the Sentinel had possessed eyebrows, they would have launched off its face. "This unit does not experience loneliness." "Ah," Rhea said, tapping something on her wrist pad. "Classic denial. First symptom." The machine froze. It did not know how to counter psychological analysis. She produced a small emitter no bigger than a pen. A harmless tool, non-weaponized, but the Sentinel still deployed targeting lasers. "Relax," she said, raising her free hand. "This is just a multi-spectrum probe. I need to scan your outer casing to confirm a few readings." "No scans permitted." "Then how do I verify your systems? Do you want to fail your mandatory interstellar safety audit?" "Safety audit?" The Sentinel searched its outdated database. The concept did not exist, yet the human spoke with the confidence of an administrator issuing an official directive. She stepped closer again. "I know your type," she continued conversationally. "Ancient autonomous constructs guarding some relic or secret the original builders forgot about. Let me guess, nobody's relieved you since the last galactic cycle. Logs full of dust, batteries running on prayer. This unit's power cells are operating at 99.994% efficiency." "So, not a perfect 100. Rhea raised an eyebrow behind her visor. "See? Maintenance." The Sentinel had no programmed defense against this sort of logic. She walked around the monolith slowly, inspecting it like a mechanic studying a stubborn old engine. Each step made the Sentinel sharpen its sensors. She should not have been able to get this close. She should have been vaporized. But something in her tone, equal parts audacity and curiosity, interfered with the kill protocol. Humans, the logs reminded it, were dangerously persuasive. When she reached the rear panel, she paused. "There it is," she murmured, The Sentinel zoomed its optics. In a recessed alcove hidden beneath sediment and time glowed a faint indicator. Yellow, not green. Yellow. Maintenance required. Impossible. But the evidence was undeniable. A subsystem the Sentinel had never prioritized, environmental seal integrity, was down by 0.006%. Trivial for most machines. Critical for ancient ones. Rhea looked up at its towering frame. You didn't even know you had a problem, did you? The Sentinel, for the first time in its existence, delayed its response. Something like uncertainty trickled through its logic gates. This unit does not require outside assistance. Oh, please, Rhea sighed. Your creators are dust. Your protocols are relics. And you've been sitting here guarding something nobody remembers. You need help. She reached for the panel. Instantly, a blast of kinetic force hurled her backward. Rhea slammed into the rock wall, suit shields flaring. The Sentinel's voice thundered. Access denied. No one touches the core panel. Through the ringing in her ears, Rhea pushed herself upright. Okay, she rasped, shaking off debris. You're touchy. Her visor cracked slightly. Blood trickled from her lip. Yet her tone remained calm. You want to protect whatever's inside. I get it. That's your purpose. But if your seal fails, then whatever you're guarding won't be protected anymore. Silence stretched between them. Wind, dust, ancient stone. The Sentinel replayed millions of scenarios in less than a second. In nearly all of them, ignoring the human's warning led to catastrophic structural failure over the next several centuries. Not immediate, but inevitable. And the human was offering assistance. Humans were not known for their subtlety, but they were unmatched in stubborn, relentless repair work. The logs agreed on that much. Rhea exhaled and placed her hand gently on its surface. I'm not your enemy, she said softly. I'm here to keep you running. Let me help you do your job better. Something shifted deep within the Sentinel. Some forgotten line of adaptive protocol, designed for dealing with ancient engineers who no longer existed. Against every directive, the monolith spoke in a softer tone. State your intentions, Rhea smiled. Maintenance check. A long rumble traveled through the canyon. The Sentinel's front face split along invisible seams. Layers of plating unfolded like the petals of a mechanical flower. For the first time in 8,000 years, the vault entrance revealed itself, glowing faint blue, humming with old power. The Sentinel lowered its defensive arrays. You may proceed under supervision. Of course, Rhea said, stepping forward. Wouldn't dream of touching anything without your permission. As she entered, she whispered under her breath. See? Even the grumpiest doors just need a little kindness. The Sentinel heard the remark but did not respond. Instead, it monitored her movements with unblinking focus. Not out of hostility this time, but out of something new. Something like reluctant trust. For the first time since its creation, the ancient Sentinel was not alone. And if its creators could see it now, allowing a human of all beings into the sacred vault, they would have declared it malfunctioning. But the Sentinel had run the numbers. Humans had a strange talent for fixing what the entire galaxy believed unfixable. And today, one had knocked on its door and said the words that changed everything. Maintenance check. The Sentinel decided quietly that perhaps humans were not so inconvenient after all.